Good night to you all. It's Sunday, a little late and quiet. I wanted to share a story that it's been in my mind and heart for a long time, probably for about a year. But I think we can, although it's a short story, I don't bring in all the details, but we can learn a lot from it. And this is the story of Tony and Martha. I changed the names. Just remember that because they might be watching, the family might be watching these videos. A lot of the families I take care of do. And so I changed the names for that reason. But it's a very interesting story. This young couple who started a business, a mechanic shop. And Tony, well known in the community, everybody knew him as a very honest person. He would work the extra hours, as they say, go the extra mile, sometimes lending his own cars to help clients, and that kind of man. And they have a beautiful story. They started together, stood together. It's one of those beautiful marriages that start at a young age and they stick together through good and bad. They lived in South San Antonio, that it's pretty much a Hispanic area. I mean, you have Hispanics of three, four, even eight generations Hispanic since this area was still part of Mexico. But that's the area where they pretty much developed their business, and their home was not that far away. So they did a pretty good job. They were very frugal. They paid for their home completely, 100% paid off. Their vehicles were 100% paid off. So they were pretty relaxed. Yes, hardworking, but pretty relaxed when it comes to the finances. They were not stressed out at all. Again, they did a pretty good job and taking care of themselves. On his mid 50s, Tony started having issues with his kidneys. He's not really a heavy drinker. Occasional social events, family reunions, but nothing big. He was not a drunk for sure. But somehow, for some reason, he started having some kidney problems, and he was diagnosed. So he was told then that he had to start taking dialysis 3 times a week, and that was very essential because his health was declining pretty fast. It is at this stage when I met him that I got a call from Martha, and they wanted to meet because by then they had been going through dialysis. Well, he was 61. He's now by 62. 61 when I met him. He was already going through dialysis for a while and waiting, hopefully waiting for a donation, an organ donation. But nothing was coming through. They have their priorities, and he's just not getting it. So she was getting very concerned. In these years, you're looking at approximately 5, 6 years going through the treatment. And just so you know, people that are in dialysis, unfortunately, life expectation for people that are in dialysis is 5 years. Of course, unfortunately, there's people that they get placed in dialysis a few months later, we lose them. But we also have the other cases. But I know people that have been in dialysis for 15 years. I think even more. But the last I remember, it was about 15 years. And some of them, eventually, they do get a transplant and they get to live even longer. So we just don't know. But the life expectancy for someone who's in dialysis is approximately 5 years. So it's a critical thing. It's not just any illness. It is something critical, and it really takes a toll on people because it takes all your energy, out of your energy, your nutrients from your body. People feel weak and so tired. Most people are not functional after that. They can't drive. They get dizzy. They have to be taken to the doctors. It's not an easy thing to go through. But that was a stage when they called me that they needed some kind of assistance. What was going on at that time with Martha, because their finances were going down very, very fast. They had to get rid of the job, kind of sold all the tools pretty cheap to other people they knew. It got to the point where she had to go and work 2 shifts. And it was a complete shift, and then she had a partial shift. She was working cleaning offices, if I remember correctly, and then I believe was doing a part time at a 7-Eleven. And so that was her situation. And in between all that, she had to take Tony to his treatments and other type of doctor's appointments. So that was the situation when we met. So my goal was to try to find some kind of a protection because at that point They had already run out of money, and they were even concerned if something happened to him. He was told by the doctor that sometimes, well, they're going through the dialysis uh, process, that some people pass away there. So they were concerned if something happens, we don't have any money to pay for the funeral. It got to that point. So I was able to find a company that was able to take them. There's some restrictions in there, but it's a pretty good company. I used them in the past to protect them for at least $10,000, insurance for $10,000. This story has a lot that we can learn from it, but I'll share it with you in a sec. It's very important to know that if you know other families out there, other people, share the video. Especially if you know that they're going through dialysis, they're going through that situation, because I can still help them. I can still guide them through what they need to do. Um, Most insurance companies, I can tell you that probably 99 point something percent of insurance company won't take anybody. But I do have companies that can still help me there in that situation. So please share the video if you know somebody. I might not be able to insure him for a lot, might be 5,000, 10,000, up to maybe 20,000, but I can still do something for them. It's case by case, but please share that video with someone you know. What we can learn from here is that as a young couple, nobody told them that they could have some kind of a retirement plan because they were business owners. They're not deducting money from the checks, they're just pretty much paying themselves. There are hundreds of thousands of people in that same situation that they work for themselves. They have their own business, different types, but they have their own businesses. So they never think of putting money aside to protect themselves, insure themselves in case something happens. Then the insurance will kick in and pay for the bills, and have some kind of a retirement income aside from Social Security. I mean, they were getting some of that, but it wasn't sufficient to pay for other expenses. So it's very important to understand this. When we're young, we're looking at age and health. That's what insurance companies see as value in us. But as we grow older, we start losing our health and we also start shrinking our life expectancy. So we start losing that value, which means that everything becomes more expensive in terms of insurance. So we have to do it when we feel we don't need it. Just imagine you going to, it's like a car insurance, a vehicle insurance agency, but you go there after you crash your car and it has dents everywhere and it's a mess. When they look at the car, they say, "I can't insure that. You should have come here before you crashed the car, not after." It's kind of the same thing with our health in our lives. So if you insure yourself when you're young, what you do is you lock in your age as well as the rates and everything else. So if something happens later, it doesn't affect you. It has to be the right insurance, whatever your goals are. But that's the concept. You have to do everything when you're still healthy. Whenever you feel you don't need it, that's the right moment. Whenever you feel you need it, sometimes it's a little bit too late, or you're limited in terms of the options you got to protect yourself and protect your family. Don't hesitate. It'll never be the perfect time because you're not in need right now and you feel like you're never going to need it. But you already saw the story, and that's just one of so many. I have thousands of stories to share. But don't be another story of someone who was unprepared or your family was unprepared because you didn't take action. So go ahead and do it. Just shoot me a text and I'll get back to you in my first opportunity and walk you through the process. Just remember, I used to do this for families as an aftercare, try to help them sort out all the problems. And I started helping families proactively because I don't want you, your families, your friends to go through this. It can be prevented. Go ahead and shoot me a text and I'll be happy to help you.